Third shift this week, friends. Same beat. Monday, the Post said prices are dropping, while the index read 4.2. Tuesday morning, a new inflation report actually landed, and this time, the number really did fall, 3.5%. The victory lap started within the hour. So today, we do the hardest thing this desk does. We take a genuinely good number, we give it full credit, and then we read what is standing underneath it before anybody builds a policy on top.
Here's the claim that got bolted onto the report within hours, exactly as written. Breitbart, echoed by the White House. The extremely low inflation in core goods prices suggests that President Trump's tariffs have not raised prices for consumers, upending the widespread criticism from many economists. Read it twice because the move is subtle. A headline number fell and the credit is being claimed for tariffs. Keep the two halves separate. We will test whether the first has anything to do with the second. First, the report itself, given straight. Consumer prices rose 3.5% over the year through June, down from 4.2% in May. First decline in 5 months, and better than the forecasters expected. The month-to-month move was even sharper. The All Items Index fell 0.4%, the largest single-month drop since April of 2020. Look at the chart. That is a real bend in the line, and this desk does not pretend otherwise. Now open the hood, because one number did nearly all of that work, and it is not a tariff number. Gasoline fell 9.7% in a single month. The whole energy index dropped 5.7%. That is the oil slump that followed the US-Iran memorandum, the same war spike unwinding we covered on Monday. Crude goes down. The pump follows. The headline follows the pump. No tariff anywhere in that chain. Here is the check the victory lap skips. Strip out food and energy, the volatile stuff, and you get core inflation. The measure economists actually watch for whether underlying prices are cooling. Core came in at 2.6%, down barely from 2.9%. Still climbing, month after month, on top of every increase that came before. Your rent did not fall 0.4% in June. Your groceries did not either. One fuel did. Which brings us to the category error, and it is the whole ballgame. A falling price of crude oil tells you nothing about whether tariffs are being passed through to consumers. Different goods moving for different reasons. Oil fell because a war paused. Tariffed goods answer a different question. Did the import tax show up in the shelf price? One flat month of core goods does not erase the pass-through baked into every month before it. Declaring tariffs costless off a gasoline dip is grading one test with the answer key from another. And the relief itself reads like a loan against next month. The concern is that this relief will be short-lived as the war in Iran restarts. That warning comes from Heather Long, chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union, who says it is simply too soon to tell whether the drop will last. Her arithmetic is easy to follow. The dip came from the barrel. The war is restarting around the barrel, and June's index will not show any of that for another month. A number pushed down by a one-time oil dip can be pushed right back up by the same oil. Anyone declaring a trend off this print is betting against the barrel. The fair shake, as always. The June print is real. It beat expectations, and if you filled a tank this week, you felt it. That is genuine relief, and nobody here is taking it from you. A White House is allowed to celebrate a good report. What the report cannot do is the job it got hired for within the hour. It cannot prove tariffs are free, and it cannot declare the affordability fight over while the core is still climbing and the economists reading it say the relief may not survive the war restarting. So the ledger gets today's entry, and it is a two-liner. The number fell for a reason, and the reason is a war pause nobody expects to hold. If gas ticks back up next month and the headline follows it, remember exactly what they told you this month's dip proved. Same play, 3 days running. One fuel does the moving, and the story claims the whole economy. Keep your receipts lined up next to their posts. The ledger stays open. I'm Marcus, and this is Pixel Politics.